Mindful family traditions. Do you and your family have a tradition? Do you do it mindfully? Is it your choice to have these traditions in your family, or is it something that society has brought on to you and you feel like you have to? Or it's something you did as a child and you feel like you have to? That's what I'm talking about today. So it came to us and our family 2 years ago. I'm filming this in November, and whether you see it at this time or throughout the year, it's still relevant. It's not just about Christmas when I'm talking about traditions, Halloween, Easter, anything. But 2 years ago, around Christmas, we started feeling the overwhelm of, even more so, it was even more intense, the stuff in the shops, the aisles and aisles and aisles of Christmas stuff, and how early it comes. It's like a running joke now, isn't it? At least here in England, how soon they have the Christmas stuff. You know, normally, people are seeing it in August. That's how early it's coming in, Christmas stuff, and we haven't even had Halloween yet. That kind of thing. So we were seeing that more and more. But 2 years ago, to me, it seemed it was on another level. It was like, it was just so much and just so out there. And then add on the expense of it all, and that we put so much pressure on, and it's only for one day. And last year I specifically didn't buy all the mince pies way back in October when they first came out. I deliberately didn't do that. You know, I wanted to make it feel special. But for me and our family, we're not religious. So it got me thinking, what are we actually even doing by celebrating Christmas? You know, people say it's for the kids. But when you're mindful and you really think about it, we're teaching our kids about stranger danger. We're teaching our kids about not sitting on people's laps for you know what reason. But yet we say it's okay and magical to have some random guy come down the chimney and leave presents. You know, it never, ever sat well for me to lie to my kids. And people cover it up and say it's all magical. And if that's your take, that's okay. That's okay. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying about when you're a mindful family and you're doing it for your family and things don't feel right, then why are we still doing it? You know, we're not religious. So why are we celebrating Christmas? We don't agree with all the spending and having to make this special one day. When you're I'm a mindfulness teacher, we're a mindful family, we try our best to live mindfully every day and live with our family the way we want to live every day, not just at Christmas. We try and see the people we want to see and have in our lives, not just at Christmas. So those are the things that I want to bring to the forefront in this video and actually just invite you really to see what traditions are to you. So we're starting with Christmas because it's the next one. So what does Christmas look like for us now? You know, people might hear this and think, well, it's all very well for you, but what about your kids? It's not fair on your kids. My eldest daughter's 9. When did you hear about Christmas, about Santa? And how did you feel? You know, the people that you trust the most have been lying to you all this time. So we haven't told her, we home educate, so she doesn't have lots of school friends to tell her otherwise. she kind of still knows or believes, let's say, but I think we're coming out of that. I think at that age they really start to question things anyway, which is great. That's what we want to bring out in them, right? And obviously we've got a 5-year-old as well, so she still believes. But I've never lied. Like when they ask, I just say some people believe. So yes, by doing this, by having a different style of Christmas, some people might say it's not fair on the kids. I would disagree and say it's not fair to lie. And because we're not religious, why should we do these things at one time of the year? Now, I agree with having one time of the year for things. I agree with celebrating birthdays, celebrating life. But it's hard when you get mindful to think, well, if I'm not religious, why am I celebrating that day? I feel a bit of a hypocrite. Same for Easter. So what we started to do about 2 years ago was to start celebrating the seasons and the cycles of nature, cyclical living. So we would start to really celebrate winter on the winter solstice. And that's the 21st, usually around the 21st of December. And we would always have a real tree, and we started to keep it and save it and plant it in the garden and bring it out, well, keep it in the pot in the garden, look after it and bring it in every year. So we're just having the one tree. And so that used to be a thing. So on winter solstice, we used to bring the tree in. And that works really well. It's like a time of recognition of the seasons and going within and retreating into hermit mode and learning a bit about yourself and working on yourself and your family and being together and just, working with the light and the dark. So going to sleep earlier, waking up a bit later if you can. That's the kind of thing we were doing. And it's been working really well. Lorry going past. Tractor. So yeah, it's been working really well. We enjoy that. And that felt more authentic to us. And we still have friends that the kids believe in Santa. And well, in fact, my other friend's kid is the same age, who does go to school. She's just had that conversation with her kid recently about Santa. So it's obviously that sort of time anyway. And if you're fine to have that conversation, then so be it. But I didn't want to do the lying thing because being mindful, that's sort of how you live. You try and be as mindful as you can, and you start being curious and start wondering why you're living your life that way. So yes, we would, for Christmas, instead of Christmas, celebrate the winter solstice. And then we've been to a few Beltane festivals as well, which was like bringing in the spring and summer and stuff like that, basically at each quarter of the year. And that was really good. We enjoy that. And obviously we're leaving the country now and we're going to be living a life not in seasons, which will be odd. And I don't know how we can keep that cyclical living going, really, but I'm hoping we can in some way. But I'm looking forward to the sun as well. So yeah, and the same with Halloween. That was my daughter's favourite time of year, was Halloween. And for that, and I guess Christmas as well, for that, well, especially Halloween, it's about celebrating the dead. People in Mexico celebrate the dead, the Day of the Dead. And that's what we started doing at Christmas as well. We've got 3 of our parents that are no longer with us, and they've never met our kids, so we talk about them as often as we can. And we, some people would set a place up at the table we wouldn't have enough room at our table to set another 3 places. So, but we talk about them, we think about them, and what we've started to do is on Halloween, when the veils are thinnest, we would make a point of talking about those that are no longer with us. And it makes death not be such a, you know, a blasé subject. And I think that's something we can really teach our kids, is to not be scared of death, not be fearful of it, and give them the tools to deal with grief, which is, like, mindfulness helps with that so much, because then we can truly live our life. You know, the one thing guaranteed in life is death, and when we can get over that, we can really live life. So yeah, I just wanted a little talk about mindful family traditions, and I just wondered what you do and why. More importantly, the why. Are you doing family traditions because you want to and it's who you all are as a family? Or are you just going along with the ride and doing what everyone else is doing? And if you're happy with that, so be it. And if you're not, can you make inroads to change it? Or can you add some family traditions to those things? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear them. All right, much love. Bye for now.